Yesterday, once upon a time, we did some problems
Like that.
like this. Shh. Okay. And we were factoring. You guys remember how we did this? How can I factor this thing? Trey?
Oh, I was like waving.
I know. I'm calling on you.
Oh, Sam, I was getting. Is it, are we doing like a parentheses thing?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 2x outside the parentheses?
No, not quite.
5.
5, that's what I meant.
5x. Okay.
Are you
In the parentheses is
Okay.
2x minus 3.
Right. What goes into both of these? 10 and 5. 15
5.
goes 5. X squared and x, we can take out an x, and then you divide both of these terms by 5x. And put it in there. You guys remember that from yesterday? That is the first kind of factoring. And there, you guys probably don't remember, but I said there's 3 kinds of factoring. Today we're doing the second kind, but it's the easier version, and then we're going to do the harder version later after break. What?
After break.
No. Based on what kind of problem it is, you have to factor it the way that works. Okay? So, on today's, I don't think we're going to be able to take anything out. Boys, be quiet. I don't think we're going to be able to take anything out. It's just going to be the new kind of factoring.
Okay.
And I could put up an example, but we'll just use like number 1 as an example. So,
Wow.
assignment, did I write it down? Page 411, 1 through 24. Number 1. Do you guys recall when we foiled,
First, outside, inside.
we got answers that looked like this when we foiled it?
Yes.
So what we're doing today is kind of reverse foiling. Instead of multiplying 2 things together, we're going to break them apart and then it'll look like a FOIL problem. So here's how it works. So they always look like a squared plus some a plus a normal number constant. This is what they look like. I call this 3-term factoring because 1, 2, 3. You get that from foiling, so we're going to kind of reverse foil. So what we're going to do, you guys ready? Time to listen. What times what equals a squared?
A.
A times a. Okay, those are going to go in the front. A and a.
Wow.
Because when you foil it, you know you do first. A times a is a squared. Okay. For the back part, you're going to say, what times what equals 15? 3 and 5. But also, at the same time, it has to add up to 8. Do 3 and 5 add up to 8?
Yes.
Yes, so it's plus 3 plus 5.
That's
Does it matter the
confusing.
order?
I think it
Does order of multiplication matter?
No.
I think this
No.
is definitely more confusing than yesterday.
Yeah, it's just.
What? I think this is so
It's
much
more
easier.
steps.
I think this is way easier.
Yeah, it's just easier, yeah. Hopefully it's easier. It does get a little bit harder, obviously, but shh. That's basically it. How could I check this?
Make sure.
Foil.
Foil. If I foil, which is kind of a lot of work, but if I foil this, it should go back to that. This is called factoring. Why is it called factoring? Because these factors multiply to give you that. Factors multiply into the answer. Okay, number 3. Some of these are prime, by the way. You see how many evens there are? 2, 3 even primes,
3.
which means it's not going to work.
Okay, we're on 3 up.
And there's a couple odd primes too, so we'll see it when we get there.
Oh.
Okay, you guys remember how I did it?
Yes, I think I did.
Okay,
Actually, no.
Marianne, what's going to go in the front?
A.
A and
That's
A.
not, your name is
Okay,
It is now.
this one's going to maybe trick us a little bit.
No.
It won't.
Okay, what multiplies
1.5.
to 3?
1 and 3.
That adds up to -4. What multiplies to +3?
Minus 1.
Negative 1 and negative 3.
That add up to -4. Yeah, 3 and 1 multiply to 3, but if we do 3 plus 1, we get 4. But we want a -4, so we need to use -3 and -1.
Wait, what? Wouldn't that be positive 4?
You won't know it.
-3 times -1 is +3, but -3 plus -1
Oh.
is -4.
That's gonna get me. I can't
Yeah.
see it.
No.
Really fast.
I'm gonna try. I don't think I can do that in try. What did I do?
Okay, number 5. They don't do primes till about halfway through the lesson. Number 5. Shh. B squared plus B minus 20. If there's no number in front of this, B, what number's in front of this B? 1.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So what goes in front?
B.
B and B. So the harder version of this is, not today, but there's going to be a number in front of the B squared, which changes a lot of stuff.
Changes everything.
It's similar, but it is harder. That'd be next lesson.
Alright.
Okay. You guys remember what I asked next? What multiplies into -20
1 and
that adds up to 1? So what can multiply into -20?
1,
2 and
2 and negative, well, one of them's got to be negative, right?
Yeah.
To multiply to a negative, you have to have one positive and one negative. Is there any way 2 and 10 could add up to 1?
4 and 5.
No. So 4 and 5, one of them would have to be negative. So does this add up to 1?
No. Wait, yes, it does.
Well, the way I wrote it, 4 times -5 is -20.
Okay, so
What's
that's
4
not-
plus -5?
It's
Yeah.
negative.
It's
-1.
-1.
We want a positive
So
1,
5 minus 4.
so I need to switch those. -4 plus 5. So it's -4 plus 5. Does the order matter? No, it doesn't. Could be B plus 5.
Well, in that case, kind of did.
No, it didn't.
The negative and positive matter,
Minus 4.
but the order doesn't matter. Okay, number 7, a squared plus 2a minus 8. So I'm going to set up two parentheses. I'm going to put a's in front. Okay, Emily, what can multiply into -8? 4 times -2. Okay, do these add up to +2?
Negative 2 plus
Yes, they
4.
do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. So that's the answer. So it's +4 and -2.
Can I do one?
Sure. Number 9 is x squared plus 7x plus 4. So I'm going to put x and x.
Oh, it's X, my bad.
Okay,
Does it
So,
get harder
of course.
today?
What multiplies into 4? Today's not too bad. I think we'll be okay.
2 and 2.
2 and 2
1 and
or
4.
1 and 4. That's our only options. Do they add up to, which of these adds up to 7?
No,
None of them. So guess what?
Right.
Right.
I think there's one more odd of these, and then there's 3 evens like that.
Made that joke yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
On number 10, what's the plus or minus on the first one?
Minus.
Okay, because someone wrote over it as a plus.
Number 11, x squared minus 9x plus 20. Alright, who wants to try this one? Alright, Brittany?
So, x and x.
X and X.
So,
What can multiply into 20? 10 and 2. What else? 5 and 4.
Yeah, so 5 plus 4.
Uh,
Negative 5 minus 4.
Yeah, 5 and 4 add up to 9, so what do we need?
Negative 5 minus 4.
Now, I should probably warn you guys, if this had been a negative 20 right here,
Would have been a prime.
it would have been prime, because you'd have to have one negative, and those don't add up to 9. But since a negative times a negative does equal a positive, so that's okay, and they do add up to negative 9, so negative 5, negative 4, that does work. So they will try to trick you on that sometimes. Like it'll look like it will work, but they have the wrong signs in there. That probably happens on the evens, I bet.
Number 2 looks hard. Or it could just
Well, it's in your times tables. What goes into 54?
30.
No, in your times tables. What goes into 54?
9.
9 times
9, that's 6.
6. 9 times 6 is 54.
But then 15.
Okay, number 13. Y squared plus 7y plus 10.
Oh, so
Okay, Lydia, what goes into 10? 2 and 5. Does that add up to 7?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Oh, it's 13.
Maybe I'll just scroll down instead. 15. X squared minus 3x minus 30. This one's kind of tricky.
2, 15. 3 times 10. 5 times
Mary Ann, what goes into negative 30?
6 times 5.
Well, 6 times 5 is 30, so
6
Oh,
times
6 times negative 5.
one of them's gonna have to be negative. I just chose one. If it gave you the right number, but it's the opposite of the right number, you just need to switch your negative, right? Like 6 minus 5 is 1, so if this was a negative 1, we would just need to put the negative on this one. Anyway, 6 minus 5, does that not add up to negative 3? What else goes into negative 30?
Negative 3 and 10.
Negative 3 and 10, that adds up to 7, so that doesn't work. 3 minus 10 is negative 7, that isn't. What else?
It's prime.
I think we missed one though, didn't we?
Oh, it's prime.
15 times 15.
15 and 2,
That's what I meant.
1 and 30. Okay, do any of those add up to 3? No.
Wait, how many primes are there? Did you say?
3 on the evens. I think that was the last odd. 3 on the evens.
Just be done. Just be done.
Yes.
This, we're in the B section, so something's changing.
Nothing's changed.
Trouble.
No. No.
It only looks harder. What changed?
There's zeros.
No, well, the
Oh, there's
numbers-
XY.
the y and the y squared changed. Okay, it doesn't really affect much though, so just start out normally. So what goes into x squared?
X
X and x. Okay, for the back part, you're still saying what goes into 100 y squared. So let's focus on what goes into 100.
50 and 2.
50 and 2.
15 and 2. Wait,
50 and 2.
It's like 50.
Does that add up to 20?
25.
20 and 5, does that add up to 20?
No.
What else?
10, 10.
10 and 10, does that add up to 20?
Yes.
Okay, but I can't just put 10 and 10, why not? Okay, because the question is what goes into 100 y squared?
Y.
Leah?
10y.
10y and 10y, that would work, right? So you just add a y on the end? They were both positive,
What
right?
about the X?
Well, yeah, what about the middle term? It says xy. Well, when you do the FOIL, remember outside, inside, what do you get?
I get it.
Whoops, I drew that wrong. You get 10xy plus 10xy, 20xy. So it all goes together. Mind blown. Yeah, it's amazing. So anyway, If you look this one up in the back of the book, they're gonna write it differently. Guess how they're gonna write it?
Differently.
Differently, yeah. Oh, I get it.
They're gonna write it like that. I don't care, but that's how it would look. It's a little bit easier to write that way, I guess, but anyway. 19. There's two of the same thing, so they just wrote it squared. 19 is x squared minus 50 plus 96. This one's hard. Okay, we might need calculator help. I don't know.
Calc.
Because the
12 times 8. 12 times 8 is 96, but 12, yeah.
12 and the 8 is 96, but that doesn't add up to 50.
Can this be prime?
Could be.
2 times.
It's not going to be.
2 times 48. Haha.
Britton got it. Okay,
Yay.
2 times 48. So is the answer 2 and 48?
Yes.
No.
Negative
It's
48.
negative 48 minus 2.
Don't you?
Okay, and there's also something else.
Oh.
Why?
Why?
What?
Yeah, don't forget that on the
How
B
could
section.
this happen?
Okay, 21. Almost there. We're getting close. 3 evens. That's 4 times I've said it. 21. A squared on the evens. A squared minus 14 minus 72.
7 times negative 7.
These numbers are getting a little bit bigger, so it's harder. 72.
7.
Hmm.
7
4
times 7.
times 8.
Wait. No, it's
4
not.
times 18. How'd you figure that out?
I divided.
Okay, she used her calculator. So she did 72 divided by 4, she got 18. Can we get that out of 4 and 18?
Yeah. 18 minus 4.
No.
18 minus 4 is 14.
Negative 18 plus 4.
Okay, yeah, we need negative 4 minus 18 or negative 18 plus 4. So, A and A,
Don't forget the bees.
we need a, don't forget the B's, we need a positive 4 and a minus 18.
Get a load of this.
And don't forget the B's.
Jordan, let's make it.
She's in negative.
What about the honey?
Yeah, the 18's negative, minus.
Yeah, it's your shirt, right?
Dog.
Did your dog seriously rip your shirt?
He's ripped like all of my shirts.
That's
Dog.
Bad dog.
No, he wrestled. It's hilarious.
He like shakes it around.
Yeah, my dog ripped up my shirt, so I just punted him off the bridge.
What? It's the thing you get.
23. Okay,
Yeah, he rips all.
what's wrong with 23?
It is.
Shh, okay.
It's backwards.
What's wrong with 23, guys?
It's out of order.
It's out of order. What's
Back in
the,
order?
yes, what's the normal order?
X squared plus 18x plus 56.
Okay.
Goodness, what are you doing?
Oh no.
What are you doing?
Okay, now we're ready. What goes into
No.
56? This might be a trick.
9 plus 6.
No,
Nine
that
times
doesn't.
8, 8, and 7.
8 and 7, does that add up to 18?
That's up to
I
2
didn't say yes. I
times
said no.
23. No.
2 and 20. Actually, it's 2 and 28.
2 times 28. You could do 14 and 4 now.
Alright, somebody found it. 14 and 4. So if you divide by 4, you get 14. Does that add up to 18?
What?
Yes, it does.
Wow. No, but it's
4 and 14.
Go try those evens.
Hey, how do you set up 24?
Just put the
Right.
square term in
Try
front.
those
Put
evens.
the square term first and then the x. And
Now you
then
gotta get this smile.
Oh, right.
Alright,
It's like one of those cartoons.
Let's try those evens.
It's funny because it's true.
get it done and then